On a calm morning in Oak Cliff, a couple was about to go for a walk. Unbeknownst to them, these would be the 49-year-old husband's last footsteps. Moments after leaving their home, a figure emerged with a gun and opened fire, leading to his sudden death. Initially seen as a blind murder, the case left the community in shock until investigators uncovered the cunning, brutal truth about the death of the American Airlines IT director. This is the story of James William Faith Jr. It was a typical Monday morning in Oak Cliff. On October 9, 2020, Jamie and Jennifer Faith stepped outside with their dog Maggie, ready for their daily walk. At 7:33 a.m., Jennifer led the way, leash in hand, with Jamie close behind. The neighborhood felt peaceful, unaware of the darkness lurking nearby. Out of nowhere, a man dashed up behind the couple as they rounded the corner. The shots you just heard hit Jamie. 3 bullets to the head, 3 to the torso, and 1 to the groin. He fell to the ground, dead or dying, as the family dog bolted away. The assailant, wearing a dark blue hoodie and a surgical mask, grabbed Jennifer, slapped a strip of duct tape around her wrists, and tried to steal her wedding ring. Failing, he turned to flee. Neighbor Emery Wilson, hearing the shots, ran out of his house to see what happened. He saw the shooter standing over the Faiths, gun in hand.
What happened? Try to get. Call the police.
Wilson rushed back inside to grab his pistol. When he returned, the assailant had fled in an older black Nissan Titan. Jamie lay dead, Jennifer hysterical, and no one had caught the license plate.
Dogs are barking. Neighbors are beginning to come out of their houses. This is absolute chaos.
One of the cameras captures this heartbreaking moment when Jennifer is crying and one of her neighbors comes up to console her.
The calm atmosphere shattered instantly, transforming an ordinary morning into a nightmare and leaving the entire community in disbelief. Some of the neighbors came running, and some frightened, to join Wilson at the crime scene, and one of them called the police, who arrived promptly. The shooter had fled, leaving behind not a single clue. Let me take you through the background of the Faith family. They had moved to Waverly Street in Oak Cliff 3 years earlier, and had been married for 15 years, celebrating their anniversary the night before the shooting. Jamie, an IT director with American Airlines, had relocated his family after the airline's merger with US Air. Friends described their relationship as vital, with no apparent stressors, and they were financially stable despite the pandemic.
Jennifer is the surviving witness of a murder.
Jennifer was later called to the police station to get her formal statement, which was video recorded.
I turned around and I just saw this person shoot and shoot. I couldn't believe, I didn't know why. His body was lying like this in the street, and then
So was your husband like this? Did your husband say anything to her?
No, I don't know. I think I was yelling no. I think he did the same thing. It just seemed quiet. That's all I remember are the shots.
And several shots?
Well, a lot of shots. 5, 6 maybe, I feel like. And he just kept going. And like, what is this stop me. And shot at my husband's expression.
Is it history of your husband's facial expression?
Just like the light God. And he just crap. And so I was like the shock, and then I saw the birds turn and like just dark eyes and coming toward me, and so I yelled no, and I had the dog, and I started to run, and he tackled me to the ground, and then stopped, ran.
Jennifer readily agreed and gave the officers full access. In the coming days, she would give interviews to at least 2 TV stations, pleading with the public to call the police with tips or information to help discover Jamie Faith's murderer. Jamie was buried. His parents somberly paid for the funeral expenses, and donations flowed through a GoFundMe page Jennifer set up. Things began to quiet down, but behind closed doors, the investigation caught a break, and the perpetrators started making plans. There was almost nothing suspicious found on Jennifer's phone. Messages with Jamie discussed typical relationship troubles, especially during a pandemic. One text, however, stood out. Jennifer had confided in an old friend states away, revealing she'd reunited online with a high school flame, Darren. She admitted to an emotional, if not physical, affair that began 7 months before the killing. Despite this, there were no texts, voicemails, or emails between Jennifer and Darren on her phone. What investigators did find was Darren Ruben Lopez's name, address, and phone number. It wasn't much, but it was a lead they had to follow. Darren's involvement in the case was now a crucial puzzle piece. The morning air was thick with tension as investigators circled overhead, their eyes scanning and sprawling 20 acres of Lopez's property. A former Green Beret, Lopez had faced unimaginable horrors during his tours in Iraq, but nothing prepared him for the dark cloud looming over his home. Recently divorced and battling demons of PTSD, he seemed like a man lost in the shadows. As the federal agents delved more deeply, they discovered unsettling signs hidden among the trees, a concealed cache that hinted at a life far removed from the quiet life he portrayed. With each passing moment, the weight of the past pressed harder, the fate of Jamie Faith hanging in the balance. The aerial photo revealed more than just land. It exposed secrets that could unravel the threads connecting Lopez to the heart-wrenching case. The hunt for answers was far from over, and the truth was waiting to be uncovered. The black Nissan Titan sat ominously outside the barn, its rear window flaunting a white T decal, an exact match to the getaway vehicle described by witnesses. It was no coincidence that this truck, linked to the crime scene, belonged to Darren Lopez, Jennifer Faith's high school boyfriend. Investigators felt the weight of the evidence pressing down on them. Subpoenas were swiftly issued, revealing Lopez's movements leading up to the chilling event. Just the day before, he had serviced his truck and then fueled up at Huck's gas station, withdrawing cash while wearing a blue surgical mask, just like the one spotted on the suspect. A grim realization dawned as the cell tower pings traced his route from Tennessee to Dallas. Lopez's journey wasn't just about distance. It was a breadcrumb trail leading straight to the heart of a dark mystery that needed unraveling. Time was running out, and the truth awaited discovery. On the morning of October 9, he slipped onto the property under the cloak of darkness, his heart pounding yet steady. By 7:30 a.m., he was waiting, watching the Faiths emerge, unsuspecting of the danger lurking nearby. In an instant, the tension snapped. He committed the act, precise and calculated. Within moments, he was back in his truck, blending into the morning rush, his escape seemingly flawless. As he navigated through the lighter traffic caused by the pandemic, the enormity of his crime hung heavy in the air, yet he felt nothing but relief. He had told his daughters he was on a hunting trip, a deceptive veil that masked his true intentions. Days later, as investigators returned to the scene, they began piecing together the chilling reality behind his carefully crafted alibi. Unaware of the darkness that had enveloped their town, the Nissan truck was still there, its presence heavy with tension. The distinctive white T decal had vanished, raising alarms. Had Lopez been tipped off? Realizing the police were watching, it felt too convenient, too much like a last-minute decision after the chaos of that fateful night. Officers exchanged knowing glances. They understood the implications of that removal. On January 11, 2021, everything would change. Lopez was pulled over in a routine traffic stop, but the stakes were anything but ordinary. Federal agents descended, arresting him for firearms charges and the murder of Jamie Faith, a case intertwined with deep-rooted motives. While Dallas and Tennessee coordinated their investigations, a different mission unfolded locally. Jennifer Faith was brought in, and her fate was linked to Lopez's dark intentions. Questions swirled. Had he acted alone? Was he erasing a rival, or was there more to this deadly obsession? The truth was lurking just out of reach. Jennifer's heart raced as the detectives scrutinized the phones. What they uncovered would shock them. Evidence of a deep, complicated affair between her and Darren, spanning months without ever meeting in person. They had secured permission to examine Lopez's phone, but the contrast was striking. Jennifer's device held almost nothing, while Darren's painted a vivid picture of their hidden connection. As tension filled the room, Jennifer remained silent, withholding details about the recent arrest of her supposed lover. The detectives knew Darren had been arrested and charged with serious crimes in Texas, but he refused to betray her, seeing himself as a steadfast protector. Even under the looming threat of a murder trial, his loyalty shone through, complicating the investigation. Yet, as the detectives pieced together Darren's message, it became clear that the truth was buried within those conversations. Truths Jennifer could no longer deny. Darren's phone buzzed again. It was a text from Jennifer, sent on December 3rd. "I woke up in a panic," it read. "You need to take the sticker out of the back window of your truck." Unease settled in his stomach as he recalled conversation. 30 minutes later, he texted back. "I don't want to take it off immediately. The girls would notice." But he was working on it, even if it felt wrong. Her message was urgent the next day. "I have a bad feeling. Get that sticker off ASAP." A chill ran down his spine. He shot back a quick reply. "Sticker done." Her response was immediate and filled with relief. "Yay, thank you. I feel so much better." But Darren couldn't shake the feeling that something deeper lurked beneath her words, a darkness that wouldn't let him rest. The evidence was undeniable. The search of Darren Lopez's home, executed under a warrant, revealed a .45 caliber 6-hour handgun tucked away in a soft cover case, clearly marked with his name. Crime lab results confirmed the weapon matched the shell casings discovered at the murder scene. Even more chilling, tiny traces of Jamie's blood clung to the cold metal, sealing Darren's fate. As investigators pieced together the fragments of the night, a web of secrets began to unravel. Each detail pointed toward a chilling conclusion. Darren was caught in a deadly game far beyond his control. The smoking gun had surfaced, leaving everyone questioning how deep the shadows ran and who else might be involved in the dark tale of betrayal. Digging further into Darren's phone records, they stumbled upon another chilling text from Jennifer, dated just 2 days before the killing. It read, "Don't text me on Monday. I will factory reset my phone on Sunday night after deleting texts." Jennifer Faith was brought in again on February 24th, her initial obstruction charge looming over her like a dark cloud. But as authorities sifted through her recovered messages, a far graver picture emerged. What began as a rekindled love affair unraveled into a web of manipulation and deceit. Investigators found a series of exchanges that revealed not only financial arrangements, but also encouragements that edged closer to murder. With each text, the sinister plot thickened, leading them closer to the capital crime of murder for hire. Jennifer's computer and electronic devices were seized, uncovering a digital labyrinth of secrets. The emails revealed a dangerous intimacy between her and Darren, ignited by a chance encounter on LinkedIn. Both nurses had wounds from past relationships, and they spiraled into a whirlwind of romance, exchanging over 14,000 messages in just months. But their connection soured after the murder, halting all communication until it resumed under chilling circumstances. Jennifer now shared updates about her claim on Jamie's $360,000 life insurance policy, revealing unsettling motivations beneath her composed exterior. She informed Darren about paying off 2 credit cards totaling over $50,000, a gesture that deepened their entangled lives. Each email peeled back layers of deceit, leading investigators closer to the truth. What dark path had Jennifer chosen? She described a marriage slowly unraveling, revealing layers of abuse that chilled him to the bone. At first, it was emotional scars, words that cut deeper than any blade. But as the days passed, the darkness deepened. Physical confrontations turned brutal, and her words hinted at a sinister escalation. Jennifer sent him haunting photos of her injuries, each image a silent plea for help. She confided only in Rob, a co-worker who became a reluctant witness to her suffering. "You must leave him," Rob urged in their secret chats. But Jennifer's ties to her family anchored her in fear. Darren felt helpless as Rob's emails confirmed the nightmare. Just when he thought he understood the extent of her pain, new messages arrived, tightening the web of deception and despair that surrounded them all. Darren stared at the screen, heart pounding as the emails from Jamie unfolded. They revealed dark secrets and threats of escalating abuse if they stepped outside. Confusion swirled within him. He felt trapped in a web spun by hidden hands. But as investigators dug deeper, a chilling truth emerged. Jamie didn't exist. Every message was crafted by Jennifer, who manipulated the narrative from her computer. She played every role in this twisted drama. Darren's world shattered. Denial surged as they presented undeniable evidence revealing that not only were the emails fake, but the signs of abuse were staged too. His love and his trust were all weaponized against him. Had he been a mere pawn in her elaborate scheme? Panic clawed at him as he grappled with betrayal, realizing the depth of his deception. His attorneys sensed vulnerability, preparing to turn this chaos into a defense that could change everything.
Obviously, there's a whole lot of text messages. There's thousands of them, so we need to get a complete picture. Obviously, we believe we have a defense. I'm sure there's some deletions. A lot of people delete text messages, and I know there's a lot, as I mentioned earlier, of not deleted, where she admits talking to her husband about her feelings, about her actions are not consistent with someone planning.
In the quiet corners of the courtroom, tension hung thick. Jennifer's texts revealed secrets, admissions of longing, and dark intentions, painted against a backdrop of innocence lost. She had once shared her fears with her husband, but now those words felt like ashes. As the prosecutors presented their case, Darren's heart raced. He fought to shield Jennifer, believing in her love while wrestling with the evidence that condemned them both. Each text and message deepened the divide, exposing a web of manipulation and deceit. Jennifer's plea deal hung in the air like a noose, offering life in prison in exchange for her silence. She felt the weight of her choice, knowing Darren's fate mirrored her own, yet fear drove her to betray him.
Devastated. I took an innocent life. I took Amber's dad from her. A man who was like me.
The courtroom murmured with disbelief as messages of love transformed into instruments of destruction. Darren's attorney argued desperation, claiming PTSD twisted his actions, but the jury could see the truth. A man driven to madness by love and betrayal.
In the center of his being, and it was, as he had said, is a mission, survival mission, eliminate the threat. And that perception of threat is imperative.
The shadows closed in as the verdict was read, sealing their fates. They were forever entwined in a dark dance of choices made in the name of passion, yet doomed to live separate lives behind bars. This is all about Jamie Faith's cunning murder story. This shows the sick and drastic mentality his wife pursued all the time. So, what social reforms can improve people's mental and emotional health? Please leave us your thoughts in the comments section below. And if you would like to see more interesting criminal stories like this, subscribe to our channel, like and share the video, and I'll see you on the next one.